challenges. Reveal your strength. We often admire strong individuals, leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, people who seem to stand tall despite the storms they face. But strength isn't something we are simply born with, it's something we develop. And the truth is, we don't build strength in moments of comfort. We build it in the moments that test us, in the challenges that push us to our limits. Every obstacle we encounter is an opportunity to discover just how capable we truly are. Think about the first time you faced real adversity. Maybe it was in school, struggling to grasp a difficult subject while others seemed to excel. Maybe it was in your career where no matter how hard you worked, success felt just out of reach. Or maybe it was in your personal life where loss, failure, or disappointment knocked the wind out of you. In those moments, it was tempting to give up, to believe that the challenge was too great. But somehow, you found a way through. You figured it out. You adapted. You became stronger, not despite the difficulty, but because of it. Challenges act as mirrors, reflecting parts of ourselves we might not otherwise see. When everything is going well, we rarely question our abilities. We move through life without resistance, never needing to tap into our deepest reserves of strength. But when hardship strikes, we are forced to confront what we're truly made of. We realize we are more resilient than we ever imagined. We find skills, patience, and endurance we didn't know we had. This is why the most successful people don't shy away from difficulty. They embrace it. They understand that every challenge is a chance to grow, to refine their skills, and to sharpen their minds. Look at any great leader, athlete, or artist. Their journey isn't marked by an easy path. It's defined by the struggles they overcame. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. Steve Jobs was once removed from the very company he founded. Yet in each case, their setbacks weren't the end of their stories. They were the beginning of something greater. There's a reason why weightlifters lift heavier and heavier weights. It's not to make life harder for themselves, it's to become stronger. The unselfish tendencies that Formula One sports stars have to become stronger. The more resistance they face, the greater their muscles grow. Life works the same way. If we only did what was easy, we would never develop the strength required to handle bigger challenges. And the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity for growth. Many people see difficulties as unfair. They believe that if something is hard, it means they're failing. But the reality is quite the opposite. Struggle isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you're growing. The greatest breakthroughs in history, whether in science, business, or personal achievement, came from people who refused to let challenges break them. Instead, they let challenges build them. If you reflect on your own life, you'll likely find moments where you thought you couldn't go on, but you did. Where you thought you had nothing left to give, but you found a way to push forward. Those moments define you far more than the times when everything went smoothly. Strength isn't developed when things are easy. It's developed when things are difficult, when you're forced to dig deep and discover what you're truly capable of. Every challenge you face is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. You may not feel that way in the moment, but with each hardship, you are building the endurance, patience, and resilience needed to take on even greater challenges in the future. Pain creates perspective. Pain is one of the greatest teachers life has to offer. It has a way of shifting our focus, forcing us to see things from angles we may have never considered before. When life is comfortable, we rarely stop to analyze where we are, who we are, or what truly matters. But pain disrupts that comfort. It demands our attention. It challenges the way we see the world and ourselves. And in doing so, it reshapes our perspective in ways that nothing else can. Consider someone who has faced deep loss. The loss of a loved one, a job, a dream they held on to for years. In the midst of that pain, it may feel like the world is crumbling, but as time passes, something shifts. Something shifts. The pain forces them to reflect on what they took for granted. It teaches them to appreciate the people who remain, the opportunities they still have, and the strength they never knew existed within them. The things they once complained about seem insignificant. The things they once ignored become more valuable. Pain, though cruel in its arrival, leaves behind a gift: clarity. Struggle often reveals truths that success hides. When everything is going well, we rarely question the deeper meaning behind our actions. We move through life chasing achievements, material success, and external validation. But pain forces us to pause. It strips away the distractions and makes us confront what truly matters. It is often in our hardest moments that we realize happiness doesn't come from external accomplishments. It comes from within. It comes from relationships, purpose, and the resilience to keep moving forward despite adversity. Pain also deepens our ability to empathize. Until we experience hardship ourselves, we can only sympathize with others from a distance. But when we go through our own trials, when we know what it feels like to be rejected, heartbroken, or uncertain about the future, we begin to see others differently. We become more patient, more understanding, more compassionate. We start to notice the struggles people carry silently, the battles they fight behind closed doors. And with that realization comes a shift in how we treat others. We become more human, not just in our struggles, but in our ability to connect with those around us. The challenges we face also force us to redefine success. Before experiencing pain, we may equate success with status, wealth, or recognition. But after facing real hardship, our definition changes. Success becomes about growth. It becomes about making it through another day, about learning something valuable from the struggle, about becoming stronger in ways we never expected. Pain humbles us. It reminds us that life isn't just about reaching the top, but about the journey we take to get there and the wisdom we gain along the way. Pain also pushes us toward transformation. There are moments in life when we are forced to make difficult choices. Moments when we either break down or break through. Pain creates a fork in the road. We can let it define us, keeping us stuck in our suffering, or we can let it refine us, using it as fuel to grow into something greater. The people who rise from adversity don't do so because they avoided pain, but because they faced it, embraced the lessons it had to offer, and allowed it to mold them into something stronger. Pain gives us the ability to appreciate the moments of joy in ways we never could before. Without darkness, light wouldn't be as meaningful. Without failure, success wouldn't feel as rewarding. Without suffering, happiness wouldn't be as profound. The contrast between struggle and triumph is what makes life rich and full of meaning. People who have faced deep hardship often find themselves cherishing the smallest victories, laughing with loved ones, feeling the warmth of the sun on their skin, or simply waking up with another chance to keep going. If there is one thing pain does above all else, it changes the way we see the world. It reminds us that nothing is guaranteed, that life is unpredictable, and that every moment holds value. It forces us to look beyond the surface, to question what we once assumed, and to find meaning in places we never thought to look. Through pain, we gain wisdom. Through pain, we gain clarity. Through pain, we see the world and ourselves through new eyes. Growth happens in discomfort. Discomfort is something most of us try to avoid. We prefer ease, stability, and the familiar because they give us a sense of control. But the truth is, real growth never happens in comfort. It happens in the moments that challenge us, the situations that push us beyond our limits, and the experiences that force us to adapt. If everything always stayed the same, we would stay the same. But discomfort shakes us, wakes us up, and forces us to evolve into something greater. Think about a time when you were forced to step outside your comfort zone. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, taking on a new job, or moving to a new city where you didn't know anyone. In the beginning, it felt uncomfortable, maybe even terrifying. But over time, that discomfort turned into confidence. You learned, adapted, and became stronger because of it. The very thing that once scared you became second nature. That is the power of discomfort. It stretches us, it expands our limits, and it helps us grow in ways we never expected. One of the greatest examples of growth through discomfort is physical training. When you lift weights, your muscles go through micro tears. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, but as those muscles repair, they grow back stronger. Without resistance, without the challenge, there would be no growth. The same principle applies to life. Every difficult situation, every setback, every moment of uncertainty is breaking and rebuilding us into something stronger. The pain of today is the strength of tomorrow. Discomfort is also the birthplace of resilience. When we stay in our comfort zones, we never truly test our ability to handle adversity. But when we step into situations that challenge us, whether it's learning a new skill, facing rejection, or dealing with failure, we build resilience. We begin to trust ourselves more. We realize that we can handle more than we thought. And the next time we face discomfort, we don't shrink back. We lean into it, knowing that it's shaping us into someone more capable and prepared for whatever comes next. Look at the most successful people in any field: entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, leaders. None of them got to where they are by staying comfortable. They took risks. They faced rejection. They failed, learned, and tried again. Every challenge, every obstacle, every uncomfortable moment played a role in their growth. They didn't avoid discomfort. They embraced it because they understood that discomfort is the price of progress. Discomfort also forces us to rethink our perspectives. When we're in familiar situations, we operate on autopilot, following the same patterns and habits. But when we're placed in unfamiliar or challenging situations, we have to think differently. We have to problem solve, adapt, and learn. And growth isn't just about becoming stronger. It's about becoming wiser. It's about seeing new possibilities, discovering new paths, and realizing that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. Some of the biggest breakthroughs in history came from moments of great discomfort. Scientists pushing through failed experiments, leaders making tough decisions in uncertain times, innovators challenging the status quo despite opposition. None of these breakthroughs happened in ease and comfort. They happened because discomfort forced people to think differently, to persist, and to grow. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the catalyst for transformation. If we want to grow, we must be willing to embrace discomfort. We must be willing to face the unknown, to take risks, to endure setbacks, and to push through the moments when everything in us wants to quit. Because on the other side of discomfort is something greater: strength, wisdom, confidence, and the kind of growth that transforms not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. Your breakthrough is on the other side of resistance. Resistance is a force we all encounter. It shows up when we pursue something meaningful, when we step outside our comfort zones, when we dare to chase a dream. It comes in the form of self-doubt, obstacles, rejection, and setbacks. It whispers in our ears that we should stop, that it's too hard, that we're not good enough. But resistance is not a sign to quit. It's proof that we're moving in the right direction, because on the other side of resistance is growth, transformation, and the breakthrough we've been waiting for. Think about a plane taking off. The greatest resistance happens right before it lifts off the ground. The engines roar, the friction builds, and the aircraft pushes against the very force trying to keep it down. But the moment it breaks through, it soars. Our lives work the same way. The greatest resistance often comes just before our biggest breakthrough. It's when we feel like giving up that we are often the closest to something extraordinary. The key is to keep pushing, to keep moving forward, even when every part of us wants to stop. Resistance isn't there to stop us. It's there to test us. It asks, how badly do you want this? It separates those who simply wish for success from those who are truly committed to it. Anyone can start something. Many people begin with excitement, enthusiasm, and big dreams. But when obstacles arise, when things get tough, when progress feels slow, that's when most people quit. The few who keep going, who push through the resistance, are the ones who experience real breakthroughs. Look at history's greatest achievers, athletes, innovators, leaders. They all faced resistance. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Their success wasn't because they avoided resistance. It was because they refused to let it stop them. They understood that every setback, every failure, every moment of struggle was part of the journey towards something greater. Resistance also has a way of shaping us. It forces us to refine our skills, strengthen our mindset, and develop the perseverance needed for long-term success. A boxer doesn't become stronger by avoiding punches. He becomes stronger by enduring them, learning from them, and using them to sharpen his strategy. And the same applies to life. The resistance we face isn't meant to break us, it's meant to prepare us. It's teaching us lessons, building our resilience, and setting us up for the moment when our breakthrough finally arrives. We often mistake resistance for a sign that we should turn back, but in reality, it's the very thing pointing us toward our breakthrough. Imagine pushing against a heavy door. At first, it doesn't budge. You push harder, and it still resists. But with every ounce of strength you apply, the pressure builds until finally the door swings open. The effort, the struggle, the persistence. It all leads to that one moment of success. Without the resistance, there would be no breakthrough. The truth is, most people quit right before they're about to make a major breakthrough. They stop when things get tough, never realizing that if they had just pushed a little further, they would have reached their goal. The difference between success and failure is often just a matter of endurance. Who is willing to keep going when others stop? If resistance is standing in your way, it's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that something incredible is on the other side. It means you are growing, evolving, and getting closer to the breakthrough that will change everything. The harder the resistance, the greater the reward waiting for you on the other side. Keep pushing, keep believing, because the moment you refuse to quit is the moment your breakthrough begins.